Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Colby from Sanitarium Productions. We're back again with another G.I. Joe action figure review. Today we're looking at the 30th anniversary Pursuit of Cobra G.I. Joe Cycle Armour with the Ashiko figure. This came out in 2010, again part of the 30th anniversary. Very cool looking. Nice small box here, but nice window. We got a figure in there, we can see everything. Converts from Cycle to Armor, which is a little odd, but hey, why not? Let's go with it. Top shows that it comes and converts into a diorama. Flipping it over to the back, we've got a nice little action feature photo thing of the Ashiko figure and the Mission City Strike thing. So it's pretty cool. The one thing I will point out about the packaging here is that it definitely has a couple of different versions of the file card for the figure, kind of all the way around in the different languages. So they are continuing the multilingual kind of approach here, but they just kind of stuck them in random places here. Some still nice artwork going on here, but it's just a little bit odd that they kind of scaled down the file cards and kind of stuck them all over the place. The English one is right over here. The rest of these are whatever other languages they are. Regardless, it's still a pretty cool 30th anniversary figure. So let's go ahead and take a look at it and get it out and look. Little piece of tape over here on the side. I need to fix my razor blade evidently. It's being silly. Anyways, there's the tape cut. We'll fold this out and see if we can get this to slide out. There's another little cardboard insert here. And then we've got the accessory pack that was stuck in below there. So beyond that, just a regular box now. A lot of cool looking accessories here. We'll look at those here in a moment here, but let's look at the actual figure vehicle combo thing here. It's fairly interesting looking. Some nice artwork here going on anyways. Let's cut some more tape here to get ready to pull this thing out. They do love their tape here at Hasbro. There we go. I think that's got all of it. Almost got all of it. Okay, so this should fold out, and then this plastic piece should kind of lift out like so, and you've got a nice kind of diorama here if you're into those kinds of things. It's a fairly interesting kind of battle scene here. Some construction site kind of thing going on and some fire going everywhere, so that's pretty nice, but I'm not really much into those, so we'll set that to the side at any rate. And we've got more tape holding all this stuff in, so let's see what we can do, what we need to do. I think we're just going to try to pull this tape off. somewhat. And then this just pulls out like so, and the figure is free from the base here. We got more tape on the bottom of the cycle. They go a little overboard if you ask me sometimes, but that's okay. We also have a couple of these braided twist tie things, but they're the rope ones, not the plastic ones, I guess. So I'm going to go ahead and just snip them off here anyways. One in the center and one on the front tire. There we go. Then that piece comes off and can be tossed away, and the cycle is free. And we'll go ahead and pop the figure out. There are some rubber bands on this guy, but I didn't bother cutting them. I'm just pulling it out here. So just be aware of that. You will have to deal with it. And there's the figure. So we will go ahead and zoom in closer and take a look at this thing and see what it will. Start with the accessory kit. Got a single piece of tape on here, so we'll just slice that open real quick, and then we'll dump this out to see what all we have. Looks like a whole bunch of accessories. So we have a cool ninja sword. So it's the same as the Snake Eyes sword, is what it looks like. In a sheath. We've got a Uzi, a pistol, we've got an assault rifle, another assault rifle, another assault rifle, another Uzi, and a cool knife in its sheath. So a lot of cool weapons here. We'll try to figure out how they attach here in just a moment. But so yeah, lots of cool weapons. We've got a sticker sheet for the cycle. We have the diorama instructions. Nothing too special about that. And we have the instruction sheet for the actual Cycle Armour. And it is front and back, so it's essentially got some of the Transformer kind of features going on to attach it to the figure as the battle armor, and then the cycle stuff itself. So yeah, we'll try to step through all this to kind of show you all what's going on, and just kind of see what we can do with that from there. So pretty cool looking accessories though. We'll take a closer look at these with the figure here in a moment. Let's take a look at the figure, Ashiko. Looking at the accessories first here, I'll slide the figure to the side here. We've got some really awesome weapons here. We do have two of these Uzis. These have some nice, nice detail work on them. Kind of basic, but they work really well actually for what they are. There we go. There are two of those. They're the exact same ones. We've got this really awesome kind of heavy assault rifle. Again, some nice detail work here. We've got this other assault rifle. Again, I'm not really good with the actual names of these things, models, or anything like that, so if any of y'all out there know for certain, feel free to drop those in the comment section. That's what they're there for. Y'all can educate us a little bit. We've got another assault rifle. Getting some nice detail work on it. Very cool looking scope on it. We have a regular pistol here. We have this cool knife and a sheath. Fits in there really well. I'm pretty sure this is the same knife that came with like the Alley Vipers. Still nice. And we've got a cool katana with a sheath as well. Does look like the same as we've had with Snake Eyes for a while. Very cool though. It fits in there very easily. Works really well. Moving on to the figure itself. This is kind of an interesting figure. They've kind of kit bashed this thing all to pieces, if you ask me here. It has these little peg joints here to attach the Cycle Armour to, and we'll get into that here in a few moments here, but just wanted to kind of start out by just showing you the figure itself. The helmet here is removable, so you can pop that off and you can see the actual figure in there. He's wearing a baklava mask thing. Pretty nice. A lot of nice detail work on this guy. It does look like it is using some of the top half of one of the Snake Eyes figure with the blades in the front. I don't remember which one that is, but if you pull the armor off, it kind of looks the same as that. So some of that same texture is showing up here. Not a lot of detail work as far as paint apps or anything like that. It's kind of standard. We do have a few of these little yellow bolt pattern things popping up here and there, and the G.I. Joe logo there. But beyond that, not a lot of detail work on the paint. There's plenty of detail work in the sculpting here, but yeah. As far as the figure itself goes, the head does spin 360 degrees. We do have up and down motion. Once you put the helmet on there, you pretty much lose all articulation in the head. So it's again meant to be an armor thing, so it's kind of standard there. These shoulder joints are kind of stiff. The armor moves instead of the shoulder joints moving, so they are going to limit mobility a little bit. Not too bad, not as bad as I thought it was going to. So under the armor though, you do have standard ball and swivel joint there at the shoulder, standard ball and swivel at the elbow. If I can get it to bend there for us a little bit. And a little bit of rubber band still on there too, so let me yank that off real quick. And then a standard, looks like just swivel joint at the wrist. Don't think it's a rocker. Doesn't appear to be a rocker, just a standard swivel for the wrist. You've got the standard waist twist feature, or rib cage twist, and you've got plenty of the ab rocker motion going on as well. So nice there. The armor here is not hindering that movement whatsoever. Standard T-hook for the hip joints. Full range of motion there. You got double knee joints and the standard swivel and rocker at the ankle joint. So all in all, good articulation. It's a nice looking figure. I like the helmet. It kind of makes him look like kind of a medieval knight. So it's kind of cool. I dig it. I'm anxious to see what it looks like with all the Cycle Armour attached to it as well. The only real downside I have here is the fact that the weapons here, the only thing you can really attach is the sword. Everything else will have to be carried by hand, which is a little odd considering this guy has all these attachment points going everywhere. You would think that you would be able to maybe attach some of these weapons to it, but that's not exactly the case. And I'm really disappointed about this knife here. There is absolutely no place to attach the sheath for the knife, so it really is kind of useless in that regard, so don't really know why they threw it in there other than just throw it in to be throwing it in, maybe. So yeah, that's really the only downside I see about this, is it's a little bit hard to carry all the accessories around with. How's that? Still, you get a whole bunch of them, so you don't have to complain too much about lack of accessories. It's just they don't really fit really well with the character so much, so I don't know. I'm a little on the fence about that, but it's still a pretty cool looking figure. Here we have the Cycle itself. This is obviously in motorcycle mode. We will go through the steps of switching it over to Battle Armor mode here in a few minutes here, but just do a quick overview of the actual bike itself. I'm actually surprised it stands up by itself, so that's really cool. It does have some cool, not quite rubbery tires, but very nice. They do rotate there really well. They spin very well. You've got some kickstands here at the bottom, so it helps it stand a little bit. You've got some cool handlebars here. You've got some awesome guns. Some really nice detail work on this thing all the way around. As far as the figure goes, you just kind of line him up and set him down in here, and he rides around on the bike. So pretty cool. I don't know if you can stick the feet in. I guess you can. So you can stick them in like that as well. So that's kind of a nice little feature that doesn't usually happen with most of these. You usually have to spin them back like so. So you've got plenty of options here with this particular motorcycle, and I do like that. It's nice to have options, so I appreciate that. So it works pretty well as far as a motorcycle goes for the G.I. Joe line. It's pretty nice looking. It's got some really nice detail work, and it's about the right size. So yeah, it's pretty cool as a motorcycle. We'll try to dive into how to convert it over to the armor mode and see how it goes from there. So stick with us. Now that we've taken a look at the actual motorcycle, let's dive into how to change it to the armored suit mode. This is kind of got a lot of steps in it, actually, looking at this instruction sheet here. So we're just going to kind of muddle our way through it here and do the best we can. Let's go ahead and start with step one. I guess before we do that, I'll just point out that it says, note, some parts are made to detach if excess force is applied and are designed to be reattached if separation occurs. Adult supervision may be necessary for younger children. With that said, let's jump into this thing. Step one. So according to this thing, we have to pop off the two front cannons. So just grab a hold of them and yank on them, I guess, here. Let's see how well that comes off. Okay, they pop off pretty easily. There's a little peg here holding them on So we'll do the same thing to the other side. And there we go. There's the first step. Step 2 is to slide out the thingy that holds the tire on. I guess is the best way to look at that. The front of this thing, it just pops out, and they will pop off if you're not careful. So don't put too much pressure on it or it will pop off. So just barely kind of move it like that, and that's step 2. Step 3 is the other side of the spoke thing and to remove the wheel. So just slide the wheel off after we pop this thing up. And I guess it's just a, yeah, so it just, it's kind of odd. This thing slides around a little bit, but won't slide all the way out, luckily, so you don't have to worry too much about that. But yeah, it just pops out like that. Step 4 is to pretty much pull the rest of this thing apart. It looks like it's the back half that we're supposed to pull apart, so yeah, I guess we're just going to grab it and pull, and there we go, everything pops off. So that's kind of cool. There's a little engine thing here, and you've got this thing here and these things. So there we go, there is step 4. The other wheel pops off as well, so yeah. So I guess that was supposed to happen. Step 5 is to remove these pieces from this thing. So it shows this one here first, so let's do that. This piece comes out. I guess this is the piece it's talking about, and remove that first, which that popped off in the last one. And then this piece here just folds out and up. So I guess it's like a hinge joint there. So yeah, I guess we already did that step, so yeah. Step 6 is to remove this piece here. So we're going to remove this piece here. It just kind of shows it popping. Oh, okay. It just pops off, and there's some little tabby things there. So just grab it and yank, and it should pop off like that. And I guess we do the same thing for the other side. Just grab it and pull it, and it pops off. So okay. Step 7 is to articulate the feet. So we kind of saw that a little earlier here, but here are the leg pieces. The feet just kind of move up and turn into feet. So yeah. There's a cool looking clawy thing that you just kind of pop around and unfold, and there you go, you got feet. Do the same thing for the other one there. They just slide out, and there you go, you got feet. So that's cool. Step 8, Step 9, and Step 10 are the same as 5, 6, and 7, which we just did just a moment ago with the rest of that. So that was essentially, this was supposed to be apart as 2 pieces. So we'll go ahead and yank this thing apart and make it 2 pieces. And then you were supposed to remove them from this and then unfold the legs and pull these things off. So we did that, and we're good to move on now. So there you go, 8, 9, and 10. Step 11 is basically start putting it on the figure. So we've got the figure here, and all the pieces that kind of came apart on us and all here. So grab one of the legs here, and I don't really know that it makes much difference which is which, but just looking here, there's really not any difference here other than the fact that it's got this wing thing on it, so that wing will go to the outside bit, so flip it so that those things are going to the outside. So we'll just go with the left one here first. You grab your figure, we'll pull his legs out a little bit here, and you just kind of line up this peg that's in the center of the kneecap looking thing with that peg there, the peg hole. So just something like that, and it's kind of hard to look in there and see when you're doing this stuff, so you may have to just kind of blindly feel around until you find it, but once you do, just press in on it and it locks in there, so should be good. Same thing for the other side, just grab that, orient yourself so that you can see that peg there, line it up as best you can with the peg hole on his thigh, and just press it into place. And there you go, you've got the first part of the armor, so the legs. Step 12 basically shows how to remove the engine looking thing and to turn it into a backpack. When we pulled this thing apart, the engine kind of popped out on us already, but normally it would have been attached to the underside of one of these pieces, like that. And I guess it was like that. Whatever. Now it just kind of comes out and it becomes a backpack. So you just kind of line it up with the hole in his back and just press it into place there, and he's got a backpack here, which I don't really know what it's going to do, but it's kind of cool. It's got this strappy thing on it, so it's interesting looking, but yeah, there you go. Maybe we'll come back to that in a bit. Step 13 is actually us coming back to this strappy bit. So we've got the figure, the backpack is on him. You just kind of unbuckle this strappy bit from this thing and kind of pull it up over his head. And that's pretty much all you got to do there. So there, we've done that. Step 14 is to attach the wingy looking thing, this thing, to the strappy thing. So let's do that. Grab your wingy looking thing, which is the piece that has the handlebars on it, and orient it so that the handlebars are up, and take and kind of stick it. So what you're looking for here is this center bit at the bottom. There's basically a peg hole, a peg, and two tab things. You're going to line that up with the strappy bit here and just press the strappy bit into that kind of as it lines up there. And it's kind of a flexy, plasticky thing, so once you get it in place, it should be fine. It'll hold together. And there you go. There is step 14. Step 15 is to fold the handlebar wing piece onto the front. I'm not very good at reading these directions, am I? Anyways, you take this strappy bit and you just kind of fold it over top of his head. You'll have a peg here in the center and his peg hole on his chest. There's actually two pegs and two peg holes, so line those kind of up as best you can and just press in on them until it snaps in place. There we go. Like so. And you've got a fairly cool looking robot guy looking. Step 16 shows how to make these little accessory bits form together to create arms, or armor for the arms, I suppose. So we are looking for the seat bit and the Gatling gun bit, and we're going to kind of pair them up. Go back over here. And I don't really know, let's see how this goes here. So according to the instruction piece, so the little roundy bit will be at the bottom, and then you'll want the gun with the bullets at the bottom and the barrel on the left side to go with that one, and then the other one goes with the other one. So we take those two and we somehow attach them together. I don't really know how that is supposed to work. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I think it is the opposite of that, so let's try it that way. So I'm going to reverse that. You've got a little peg hole in the side of this thing and then a peg on the gun. So line those up and smoosh them together. And then you have essentially this smooth bit, not the round bit, and the bullet chain coming to the bottom of that. So I think that's what they're going for. So let's assume that's what they're going for. Then you take this and you line it up with the pegs on his arm, and you snap that in place. And they like to wiggle around a bit, so you might have to kind of play around with that to get that to work correctly. There we go. That one kind of went in. The little plastic bits on his gauntlets on his arms are a little rubbery, so kind of hard to make it work sometimes. But anyways, line that bit up, snap it together so that it halfway is straight. Then line that bit up with this bit. Come on, bit, line up. And press in until it snaps in place, or appears to be staying in place. And I guess that's probably the best we're going to do, so there we go. Step 17 is attaching the big fender bits to his back. So we'll flip this guy over onto his side, back, front, whatever you want to call it. We're going to find these bits here that were kind of the gas tank looking thing. And you're going to slide them so that they have this bit here, the metal looking bit, is supposed to attach to the backpack. So just kind of line this thing up and press in. So if we can see here on the backpack itself, there is an actual groove tab thing here. So that's what we're going to try to find and line up. So on these metal bits here, you got that thing that is like that, and you slide it in place, but you slide it with the thing on its back. The open pieces going out, evidently. That's really the only way that the peg holes line up. And according to this, you want the shorter end of this thing to be at the top. So you got a longer bit here and a shorter bit here, and that goes to the top. So we'll line that up and then press in on it, and it snaps in. So that's good. And I broke that thing again. Let me put that back in place here. This is a little aggravating. Okay, there's that bit. His arm piece fell off again, so line this one up and then slide it into place, and I'll pop this other one out again. And then it reattaches armband that we popped off. And come on, armband, work with me here. There we go. It's mostly back on there. Okay, there's 17. Step 18 is to attach the wheels to his back. So this is starting to make a little bit more sense now. So the wheels, we'll grab them and gingerly grab this guy so we can hold them. Line up these spokes on the wheels with these larger peg holes and pop them in there, hopefully, without breaking too much other stuff. Same thing on the other side here. Line up the spoke with the hole and press in on it. Okay, that makes sense now. Then this thing popped off again, so we'll reattach it if we can. Really don't want to stay on there, does it? There. And now we have the robot guy assembled. You have achieved armored suit mode. And there we have armored suit mode. It works pretty good, and once you actually get it together, it actually looks pretty cool. It very much looks like a Transformer guy now. So yeah, I guess your mileage may vary, but he stands up pretty well also, and he does still have some mobility and articulation here, but a couple of these bits don't really work too well, so the armor on his arms tend to fall off pretty easily. So you're probably not going to get a whole lot of posability out of it in this mode. But at the same time, it does look cool. So there you have it. To assemble it back into motorcycle mode, you just kind of go in reverse order here and kind of do that thing from there. So we're not going to do that in this video, though. You can just watch it in reverse if you want to. How's that? But yeah, it's all in all, it's kind of a complicated process. It's kind of silly, and I don't really know if I've got the patience to do this very often. But again, it does look pretty cool once it's complete. So it's a unique little novelty thing here. Unless you're like a Transformer guy, I don't know that you'll be going out of your way for this particular thing. Again, it's not a bad little thing, but it's also not really all that interesting after the first time. So I don't know. You just kind of have to play it by ear and see what you think about it. Aside from that, it's a really cool set. I do like the figure itself. I do like the motorcycle as a motorcycle. It's cool that it can convert into a robot. An armored suit mode. It's not a robot. Armored suit mode. So for the crossover people out there, I'm sure you will get a kick out of it. And it's, it is interesting enough to have. So, but I don't know that I would call this thing recommended at all. But yeah, there you go. that's pretty much the review. That's all the time we've got for today, so thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Drop some comments down below to let us know what you think of the G.I. Joe Cycle Armour. If you got this thing, what did you think about it? Did you enjoy kind of the many different ways of assembling it into the armor mode, or do you end up with it in the motorcycle mode more often? What did you think about the figure by itself? I'm kind of like it, but at the same time, it's not got a whole lot of flexibility to it as far as what I'm looking for, but you know, it's not bad. So anyways, drop some comments, let us know what you think about it. If you'd like to see something in the future, drop some comments to let us know that as well. And until next time, Yo Joe.